Is the camera doing again the stupid thing? Oh my god, I'm gonna... Take number 2, because the first video was out of focus. India. Home to more than 100 languages, 7 of them in the top 20 most spoken languages. Yet it seems that most of the people outside India would have only heard about Hindi at most. But it's not for nothing that they call this area a subcontinent, and linguistic variety here is on the level of, if not greater than, others, more traditionally established continents. Each region here is like its own country, and each language is nothing like its neighbor, with its own history, literary traditions, and unique features. Today's language is no exception. From being called the Italian of the East to probably the most peculiar gender system, it is definitely worth learning more about. Oh, and do you know many languages in which you can compose a whole poem with just 2 letters? Namaskaram. My name is Julie, and welcome to the Telugu language. We're going to get to that 2-letter poetry, if you like and subscribe, of course. It's for you, really. The better this video performs, the more videos I can make, so if you like languages, do it. Click that button. First, some numbers. Telugu has around 83 million native speakers, which makes it the 4th most spoken language in India and the 14th most spoken in the world. It is spoken in the southeast of India in the 2 states of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, where it is the official language. Abroad, the Telugu language is on the rise. The Telugu diaspora in the United States jumped from 320,000 speakers in 2016 to about 1.23 million in 2024, for a while the fastest growing language in the country, mostly students and software engineers. The IT sector is full of Telugu speakers, and Hyderabad is seriously rivaling Bangalore in being the main tech hub in India, with Microsoft, Google and Amazon all opened or opening their headquarters there. The name Telugu itself is debated. The traditional story derives it from Sanskrit Trilinga, the land of the 3 lingas, after 3 Shiva temples marking the corners of Telugu country. It is a nice story, and it's probably wrong. Most linguists think it comes from the Dravidian root ten, south, so Telugu would come from Tenungu, which means southern language. There is another name, Andhra, for the state of Andhra Pradesh, and that's an even more mysterious name. The origins are unclear, but it's a very ancient name. We even encounter it in late Vedic texts. Some say it's a name for a local tribe from prehistoric times, some say it's Dravidian, some say it's from Sanskrit, but there's no consensus. There are 4 main dialects of Telugu. The central coastal dialect is the standard. The remaining are the Telangana, the Rayalaseema, and the north coastal dialects. Telugu is one of 11 languages the Indian government calls a classical language, recognition for languages with a deep literary past. And this is how Telugu has earned its place there. Telugu is Dravidian, a language family unique to South Asia, with other big languages there being Tamil, Kannada, and Malayalam. Telugu is the biggest of them, by the way, by native speaker count. Dravidian languages are dominating South India, and they have no relation whatsoever to Indo-European languages like Hindi, for example, which itself is actually closer to English. The family is about 4,000 to 4,500 years old. Within the Dravidian family, Telugu's actual closest relatives aren't Tamil, Kannada or Malayalam, which belong to the South Dravidian branch, but small tribal languages of central India like Gondi, Konda, all belonging together with Telugu to the South Central Dravidian branch. Where Dravidian itself came from is one of the great unsolved puzzles of Indian prehistory. A popular theory connects it to the Indus Valley civilization, the Bronze Age culture of what's now Pakistan and northwest India. The evidence is circumstantial. Reconstructed Dravidian has no native words for lions and camels, so they were probably native to the subcontinent. And a few Dravidian-looking words turn up in ancient Mesopotamian trade records, like elephant and sesame. The language of the Indus Valley civilization is undeciphered. Though there is a genetic connection between the people of this ancient civilization and Indians today. Ancestral North Indian DNA is a mix of Indus Valley civilization DNA with steppe pastoralists, the Aryans basically, who arrived around 1500 BC. And ancestral South Indian DNA is composed of, again, Indus Valley civilization DNA, who probably migrating south, and they're mixing with local hunter-gatherers. So one could assume that while migrating south, they brought their language with them. Maybe they didn't. It could have been a South Indian language all along. Remember, genetics doesn't equal language. Interestingly though, the breakup of Dravidian languages into its branches coincides with these migrations. Indo-Aryan languages became dominant in North India and heavily influenced Dravidian languages, but the influence was bidirectional. The Dravidian languages left a strong mark on North Indian languages. For instance, nearly all Indian languages today feature retroflex sounds like da, na, which originally came from Dravidian. It's like these two major language families merged and morphed into each other like two hot streams of lava. And guess which language ended up on the borderline of this merge? Telugu has a huge influence of Sanskrit. It is probably the most Sanskritized Dravidian language. So it's like a language that could have become Indo-Aryan but didn't. It took a lot of vocabulary from it but maintained its Dravidian core. The first full Telugu inscription dates to 575 AD, carved by a Chola prince. After that, Telugu existed for centuries as a spoken and inscriptional language, but without real literature, until the 18th century when one man changed that. The Eastern Chalukya king Rajaraja Narendra commissioned a scholar poet named Nannaya to translate the Mahabharata into Telugu. Nannaya essentially invented the Telugu literary tradition. He also wrote the first grammatical treatise on Telugu. He didn't get to finish the Mahabharata, he got partway and stopped. Tikkana, another poet in the 13th century, picked it up, and then Yarapragada finished it in the 14th. The three of them are the Kavi Trayam, the trinity of poets. There's a story about Tikkana, who composed out loud, dictating in a continuous improvised flow. Apparently, he made a pact that if he ever hesitated, he'd cut off his own tongue. He never stopped. Telugu literature peaked in the 16th century under Krishnadevaraja, emperor of the Vijayanagara Empire. Krishnadevaraja's own first languages were Kannada and Tulu, not Telugu. He still chose Telugu for his court's main literary language. His court was home to Ashtadigajas, 8 legendary Telugu poets, and wrote a Telugu epic himself, in which he included the line every Telugu speaker still knows. Fast forward to modern times now. After independence, Telugu speakers were scattered across several states and wanted their own. In 1952, an activist named Pote Sri Ramulu began a hunger strike, refusing to eat until he got a Telugu state. 58 days later, he died. The unrest after his death pushed the government to create Andhra state within days, the first Indian state ever drawn purely on language. And that triggered the redrawing of the entire Indian map along linguistic lines. In Andhra, he is remembered as Amarajivi, the immortal one. The Telugu states were drawn once more in 2014 when Telangana split from Andhra Pradesh. Telugu is the dominant language of Carnatic music, the classical music tradition of all South India, not only in the Telugu states. So if you go to listen to classical South Indian music in, let's say, Tamil Nadu or Kerala, it will probably be Telugu you hear. So what is it that makes Telugu so suitable for poetry? The Telugu script has the same origins as most Indian scripts. It emerged through gradual evolution from the Brahmi script, progressively developing into its own thing. Its closest cousin is the Kannada script. The two split around the 14th century and they still look quite similar. Telugu is an abugida. Each consonant comes with the built-in a sound, and you add marks for other vowels. The script has 16 vowels and 36 consonants. It features aspirated consonants like kha and gha, which are characteristic of the North Indian languages and are encountered in Sanskrit borrowed words. And at the same time, it features a variety of retroflex sounds like t and n. The whole Italian of the East reputation comes from the fact that in Telugu, words end with a vowel. The phrase is usually traced to the 15th century Italian traveler Nicola de Conti, who is said to have heard Telugu and found it reminiscent of his own language. But hey, I'll let you judge if the language sounds like Italian or not. Let's listen to the native speakers.
చంద్రబాబు నాయుడిని లోకేష్ని పవన్ కళ్యాణ్ని తిడుతూ ఉంటారు అని అంటారు, నిజమేనా?
ఆయన దగ్గర వర్క్ చేయడానికి మేము గర్వపడుతున్నాం.
అంటే ఫస్ట్ కట్ డిలీట్ కట్ రన్ నమ్మకం ఎర్న్ చేసుకోవాలి కానీ చెప్తే రాదు.
సొంత డబ్బా కాదు కదా.
How does Telugu sound to you? Musical? Poetic? Does it inspire you? Makes you want to write a verse or two? If it does, then go ahead and do it in the comments. And while you're at it, check out my Patreon, an inspiring place indeed, where you can vote on the next language. And thank you to my top tier patrons for picking Telugu. Now let's delve into Telugu grammar and find out why in Telugu language women have more in common with animals and objects than with men. Okay, that was a weird pun. Oh well, grammatical genders in Telugu are indeed interesting. You know, there are different ways of doing genders. When you study languages, you see it all. Masculine, feminine, neuter, animate, inanimate, human, non-human, 16 different noun classes, no gender at all. Telugu adopts a hybrid approach, and quite a unique one. It splits nouns into masculine and non-masculine. So man or boy would have one verb form, but woman, bird, and rock would have another. But the strangest part is that in the plural, Telugu changes its mind and operates in human, non-human genders. So man and woman will have one form and bird and rock will have another. And knowing that polite forms are essentially plural forms, more often than not, Telugu will operate on this human, non-human gender logic actually. Telugu is agglutinative, so instead of using separate words for prepositions or auxiliary verbs, it builds complex sentences by chaining suffixes to a root word. Oh, and the language is SOV, so the verb will always be at the end. Interestingly, Telugu also features vowel harmony, something that is extremely rare in Indian languages. Another major one being Bengali, which also, by the way, has a reputation for sounding sweet. I have a whole video on Bengali, check it out. But usually we are used to encountering vowel harmony in, let's say, Turkic languages, not in Dravidian. But it works in Telugu in a similar manner. A vowel can change from front to back vowel and vice versa to correspond to a neighboring vowel. For example, giri, hill, becomes in plural girulu, and pilli, cat, becomes pillulu. So the syllables ri and li change to ru and lu in response to the plural suffix. Last one, my favorite, the echo words. Take a word, repeat it, swap the start of the copy to gi, and you get a casual, and things like that. Like ata is play, ata gita, play and associated activities. Pustakam, book, pustakam, gistakam, books and other study items. All of this creativity of Telugu gets truly tested at a live poetry competition called Avadhanam. One poet sits in front of a panel of challengers, 8 of them or 100, sometimes 1,000 if the poet is really good. And each one throws a different constraint in them. Compose a verse in this meter, on this topic, with this word band. The poet composes every verse on the spot, one by one, juggling all the challenges at once, and at the end recites all of them from memory. There are also poems, puzzles, one of them being Dvyakshari, or a two-letter poem. Remember though that what is called one letter in Telugu is actually a syllable in English. Like this famous poem, for example, is said to be composed of two letters, na and ma, which means it will include all of the syllables like na, ma, ni, mi, nu, mu, and so on. The traditional poetry is very much alive and practiced, and even being adapted in modern musical genres. In 2023, Telugu proved its reputation for being melodic once again. A song Natu Natu from the Telugu film RRR or Triple R, or I actually don't know how to pronounce the name of this movie. Anyways, it became the first song from an Indian film to win an Oscar. And by the way, have you ever heard of Tollywood? Well, if you haven't, then you should, because the Telugu film industry is now the largest in India by box office revenue. Yes, bigger than Bollywood. So I guess I gave you enough reasons why you should care about Telugu and also sorted out your next movie night. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in our next exploration. Gosh, the camera really went crazy. I don't know what's going on. Please, camera, please don't do this anymore. What? Again.